There you go. Now we're recording. Live from the group room. It's Carrie Pilet. We're here. We're going to talk about criticism tonight. And as we do that, we're going to be looking at anger first. We're going to look at the ways that we experience anger, how we show other people that we're angry, our triggers that we have anger, people, topics, situations. And then we're going to look at how criticism fits into that idea of anger. Okay? So as we start, let's take a look first at the ways that we experience anger, the ways that we show those around us how we're feeling. And we talk about anger not because it's the only emotion or because it's a bad emotion, but because it tends to be the one that gets us in trouble if we're not careful, because we act out in ways that offend other people, that hurt their feelings, that make them defensive, and they can be reactive back. That's why we spend so much time talking about this. So, tell me about suppressed anger. Suppressed anger is anger that you keep inside. That's right. I call it stuffing it, and you'll see me. I stick it right here in my stomach. We don't say anything. We communicate maybe that we're upset by our body language. The people that know you and the people that you know and have a scorecard with, you can tell when they're angry, can't you? They don't have to say a word. You got it. Is that true? So what clues you in that they're angry or upset with you?
Body language.
Their body language. How are they standing? How are they looking? Okay, the facial expression, right? Put your eyebrows down, put your frown on, cross your arms, put on your look. Everybody's got a look. And the people that know you know your look, where you can communicate from across the room. You know, stop now. Or I'm gonna say something next. If you're a suppressed angry person, you don't say anything. You just look it. Okay? If somebody says something to me, Carrie, are you angry? The suppressed angry person stuffs it and says, I'm not angry. I said I wasn't angry, but do you hear my tone? Do I sound upset?
Yes.
My tone's pretty harsh, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And that's what suppressed angry people do if they get confronted with, are you upset? I'm fine, leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. Okay? They are very punishing to those around them. They exude negative emotion. The intent is for you to feel guilty. She's upset with me. You know, I got to figure out what I'm going to do to make it up, or maybe I'll ignore it for a while. But the intent is for you to feel bad about what's going on, and it's the way I'm motivating you to get my way, for you to do something different. Okay? It's not a healthy way, to do this. Suppressed angry people also tend to act like victims. If I'm talking to you about what's going on in my life and I'm a suppressed angry person, I'm going to be telling you about all the sins, everything this person over here has done to me, and can you believe it? After all I've done for him, he treats me like this. Can you believe it? Let me tell you what he did to me today. And they're going to go on and on. Why? Because I want sympathy from you. I want to get from you that I'm right. Helps feed into that guilt. Suppressed angry people, stick it in, exude negative emotion this way. But don't directly say anything. Expressed angry people, how do they look?
They look mad.
They look mad, and
They tell you they're mad.
and they tell you they're mad. Gosh, it all matches with this one, doesn't it? Their facial expressions show it, their body language show it, and then their mouth opens. And they just tell you what you already saw when you looked at them. You just can't miss these people. They tend to make the people around them uncomfortable, don't they? As they raise their voice, as they curse, as they tell you exactly what you've done wrong, and you hear me using the word you. That's because they do use the word you. You this, and you that, and you never, and you always, and I can't believe, and they go on and on and on, and they make you very aware of what you've done, lots of times now, what you just did, and how you've done it in the past, and the other things that you've done that have built into this. That's called a scorecard. We just bring it all in. Bring it all in from the past into the right now because you were late or whatever. They're interested in winning. That's what expressed angry people want. They want to win the situation. They don't really care if they're hurting your feelings. They're doing it on purpose. on purpose. Now let's think about this one, because I got people that say, we want to go back if we're an expressed angry person and say, sweetie, you know I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. How can I say you meant it when you're going to tell me, no, I didn't? How is that possible that you meant it?
Because they just mad, so really they don't mean it.
They do mean it. How do I know you mean it?
No, you don't. Sometimes when you mad, you say stuff at that time, but
Just to get me.
yeah, you don't.
And
I know.
you mean it.
No, you don't.
I look at you.
You don't.
She's nodding her head. Oh yeah. She says, I mean every word. I go back and try to backpedal it later. That's right. Expressed angry people mean it. I already looked at you. I already saw your facial expression. I already saw your body language. I already knew you were mad because you already told me here that you were mad. And then you opened your mouth. And you went on and on and on about why you looked the way you look and how it was all my fault. And then you're going to come back to me tomorrow and say, you know I didn't mean it. I would never say those things. Yes, you did, just yesterday. and you showed it all to me before you ever opened your mouth. It's done on purpose. It's done on purpose. I thought it, I felt it, and then the way I express anger, I stick it right out there. And I hurt your feelings on purpose. On purpose. You'll never hear me let you get away with I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. You did mean it, yeah.
Can you be expressed with some people and suppressed with others?
Yes, you sure can. We're going to get to triggers in a minute, and that's where what I do may come into play. Who you are and how I feel that day. Let me talk real quickly though about controlled anger, which is when we talk about anger here, it's what I want you to be moving to. Controlled angry people still experience anger. Okay, you're not here to learn never to be angry. It's okay to be angry. Anger is an emotion, just like love is an emotion and sadness is an emotion. You're allowed to have your feelings. Okay, I need you to be more aware of what you're doing with this particular one, anger, because I'm telling you, we get ourselves into trouble. You know, you really hurt my feelings yesterday when you were all over me about that, and I don't think I can forgive you for that. It becomes one of those things that we argue about all the time. When we look at this idea of controlled angry people, they are aware of their emotional state. So I'm keeping a tap on, you know, where am I at with my anger? Can I take a deep breath and still talk about it? How is my tone? How are my facial expressions and body language? Have I told the person and signaled to them that I'm angry? Do they know? Have I toned it back? That's what a lot of us forget. We continue in our escalation when we're expressed angry people, telling you exactly what's going on when you know you got it. I opened my mouth, the first sentence out clued you in. I could probably have pulled it back there, and we maybe could have started to solve this problem. Controlled angry people do just that. Their focus in dealing with their anger is to fix the problem. They really want it to be resolved so that we can move on with our life in healthy ways. So controlled angry people are interested in collaborating, co-laboring, working with you to find a solution that we both agree to fix this problem. Or compromising, finding some kind of a give and take. I'll do this for you if you do this for me. We don't agree, but I'm willing to give this if you're willing to give that. And we support it. That's what's key about solving problems. Whatever the solution is, whether we co-labor or compromise, we are in agreement to support what we decided to do. Okay? Controlled angry people are able to identify unwinnable situations. When you're dealing with somebody that's an expressed angry person, yelling, screaming, is that winnable? No. No. They're probably not going to calm down in the immediate future. What will happen to you if you stay in that kind of a situation?
It's hard.
It is hard. Nothing good will come of that. If you're an expressed angry person, you will not be far behind them as you spool up to compete back, right? So now I got you both yelling and screaming at each other. If you're a suppressed person, you're going to shut down. That's a doe in the headlight look. You just kind of look at them and nod and check out because there's no talking to them. Those are unwinnable situations. Yes?
Sometimes you have to raise your voice for them to even hear you.
Unfortunately, yes. She says sometimes you have to raise your voice for people around you to hear you. I find that to be the case too. It's like they don't get it that you're serious unless you ramp it up a notch. I wish that it wasn't that case. I find in my life too, sometimes I have to really work myself up to, hello, I really need you to listen to me. Okay, I have to work myself up into an anger, and I'm not a expressed person naturally, to get myself to be heard. Okay? But I don't have to stay there.
What if you ignore the person a lot?
Well, that's suppressed anger. Where's it going?
Find out what type of anger that would be.
Suppressed. By ignoring you, I'm not dealing with the situation. I'm avoiding the situation. I'm probably using some of that guilt. I don't want to talk about it. But what's happening to the problem? Nothing. What's happening to the anger? It's right here. It's just it's bubbling under the surface for the next time. The next time it happens, how angry are you? At least as angry as I was back here, if not more. Because it depends how I've talked about it in the interim. Okay? So our controlled angry people recognize the unwinnable situations. Our controlled angry people are really focused on solving the problems, because when they look at the relationship, they want it to be healthy. I see myself with you in 20 years, but that means that I have to be able to help to work through the problems that we're having now if I'm going to be there, if we're going to be in a healthy relationship in 20 years. Otherwise, it's going to go south, we're not going to be happy, and we're going to get out of it at some point. Okay? So those are our ways that we experience anger. Suppressed, expressed, controlled. Okay? Now when we look at this movie, you saw the little neighbor lady at the very beginning. She comes out of her apartment. It's a beautiful spring day and she's going to buy tulips. And what happens? Did she ever talk to him? What happened?
No, I don't know. She just.
She saw Mr. Udaw, didn't she? Coming out of her apartment. He was coming out of his, and she opens the door and there he is. And what happened to her face?
She get mad.
Yeah, she went from, oh, it's a beautiful spring day, I'm going to buy tulips, to, Closes her door, goes back inside. So much for the tulips. What kind of anger is that?
Suppressed.
She is a suppressed, angry person. Suppressed anger. Okay? I need somebody that can write that on the board.